Now, for event bosses, let's start off with Pisces Aphrodite. Now, the main thing to note here is that he has the ability to poison your knights. So, as soon as your knights are poisoned, it will start losing health bit by bit every single second. So there are a few ways to prevent this happening. So once again, you can bring in knights such as Moses to purify yourself. But once again, being a protector knight, you may not end up doing enough damage to the boss, especially for event bosses. You only get 1 minute for the duration rather than the usual. So it may not be enough time for you to wipe out him completely. What I typically tend to do is just use Aris Mu um, for his ultimate, which has a blinding effect. Now, the same with Aphrodite is that if you look at all of his attacks, he needs to attack in order to poison you. So basically, if you can dodge their attacks, then you won't be poisoned. And that's the whole point of Aris Mu's ultimate, which is to blind the boss so that you won't, the attack wouldn't connect, and therefore you wouldn't be poisoned. Now, I have a video of this on my channel, so please do check that out and see it in action about how to time your ultimate attacks in order to dodge Aphrodite's roses and to avoid the poisoning here. Next, we'll talk about the event boss, Mermaid Tethys. Now, Tethys' main characteristic is the fact that she's able to heal herself. So this is her second skill, which basically says she heals herself with the powerful ocean, recharge a certain amount of HP. She actually does this periodically, and you will see the pattern is that she does this every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, so at 50 seconds is when she will release the skill first, and then at 40 seconds, at 30 seconds remaining, etc. She will heal herself by 20% of her HP, which is really annoying because you would think you have dealt enough damage, but then she heal herself up a bit. And because she can do this 5 times or sometimes even 6 times in the battle, you essentially have to deal double of her life points in order to deal the enough damage to get every single points possible. Um, so the characters you want to bring in here, there are two main ones. Basically, the idea is that you want to prevent her from healing herself as much as possible. So the first character I would suggest is Evil Seiya if you have him. Even one copy would be enough. You know, a 5-star Evil Seiya would be enough. That's because his ultimate has the ability to send the enemy to severe injury for 1 second. And during that 1 second, the enemy is not able to heal herself. So what you want to do is hold on to the skill. Definitely don't release it as soon as it's charged up. So switch off the auto mode, manually control when you want to release the attack. When just about approaching the 50-second mark, 40-second mark, 30-second mark, etc., you know uh, Mermaid is gonna heal herself, so you want to use your ultimate at that point to make her inflict with severe injury, so that when she try to heal herself out at that exact moment, she's not able to do so. So, and that's why I said, even if this is a 5-star Evil Sega, try to bring it. Because if you're able to do this, now Evil Sega actually charge ultimate pretty slowly, so you probably only will be able to do this twice or 3 times in the battle. But nonetheless, uh, every time when you use this ultimate, you prevent the boss from healing up by 20%. So even if you only manage to do this twice in the battle, that's 40% of the enemy health you are effectively preventing, and therefore effectively you are doing that damage yourself. So it's totally worth it, even if it's a low level Evil Saber. The other knight to bring in would be Capricorn Shura. Similar kind of thing. Now, this one would send the enemy to bleed, and when the enemy has that bleeding effect, the healing effect will be reduced by 50%. So Mermaid normally recharge herself up by 20%. When she's under bleeding status, she will only be able to heal herself up by 10%. So once again, probably worth it. And I'll show you how this works in action. And remember, you want to rotate the skills, and you don't want to release both of these two ultimate at the same time. You want to alternate between them so that every single time when the mermaid is about to heal herself, she is either unable to do so completely due to Evil Saga's ultimate, or she is only able to heal half of the usual because of Capcom Shura's ultimate. So definitely never release the two ultimate at the same time. Always rotate between them. Now, soon at the 50-second mark, you will notice Mermaid Tethys would heal herself up. Now, the next time she will heal herself will be at the 40-second time. However, what I'm going to do is I will time my Evil Saga's ultimate just 1 second before that. Yeah. So now you see she's at 93% health, and at the 40-second mark, she did not heal at all. Now, next time she's going to heal will be at the 30-second mark, and this is where I'm going to use Shura's attack. Now, she's at 85 right now, and she just heals herself up by roughly 10%. That's because Shura's ability cut that up by half. Normally she would have healed by 20%, so that's already good. Here at the 20-second mark, I am going to use Evil Saga's one again. So now she's at 82% health, and you will notice that she's not going to increase any further because she's unable to heal herself. And at the 10-second mark, I will show again when I'm use Capcom Shura's move here. So she's at around 74, 73% now, but she will only heal up by about 10% rather than the usual 20. See, she only got up to 79 just now. Now, what I've just shown right now is not my usual lineup. It's purely for demonstration purposes. Normally, I wouldn't bring Misty because he doesn't actually deal much damage. What I would actually do normally, depending on how strong is your lineup, is for myself, Captain Shura is not at very high star level, so he actually dies off quite quickly, which is why I had to bring in Misty in my lineup just to make him sustain long enough in the battle to demonstrate his ability. However, I would actually suggest if your character is not strong, Evil Sega I definitely recommend bringing in because the ability to effectively deal 40% of the boss damage is just too much. That's great. Sure, mm, potential up for debate depending on how strong are your other characters. What I typically do is I would actually bring in my main powerhouse here. This is because if I have both Captain Shura and Evil Sega, they're both at low level. There's no way I can heal them both up without bringing an actual support character such as Misty or Athena. However, if I only have one of them in my lineup, what I can actually do is use my Aris moves, healing effect, which always heals the lowest of my team, lowest member of my team, which in this case often will be Evil Sega. So by only bringing one of Evil Sega and Capcom Shura, I'm able to make sure that at least one that person I bring in will be able to sustain for the entire battle. So that's what I do, and this is my usual lineup for my Mermaid Tethys. Now, like I said, depending on how good is your box, what level is your Capcom Shura, or what level is your Evil Sega, and whether you actually have alternative damage dealers, you can play around with quite a few different formation and just to see what works out the best for you. Here I will show my actual usual team that I would use for Mermaid Tethys battle. This is something I have tried a few times and works out the best for me. So here I only have Evil Sega rather than both Sega and Capcom Shura. So what you will see is I will once again release Evil Sega's attack. I released it 2 seconds earlier, but that's because there's the meteorite. The severe injury is counting from the last hit of the meteorite, so you can actually release it slightly earlier than the 40-second mark. Now you have noticed I brought Libra here, and that's purely for his buff. He has ability to let my characters to crit much more easier and deal more damage, etc. So I'm bringing him in more as a support rather than defender. Well, you probably just noticed my Sagittarius ultimate actually done massive damage just now. That's because of what I mentioned in one of my other videos, Land of Trial bonuses. That was roughly about, it probably triggered my lucky boost just now to deal 400% times damage. So I got a bit lucky there. And there you go. See, rather than brewing both Capricorn Shura and Evil Seiya, you can see I am doing a lot more damage because my Capricorn Shura is just not high enough, and I had to bring a healer just to make sure him survive. So substituting Capricorn Shura and the healer, I'm bringing in two actual damage dealers, and you can see the difference how I'm able to actually wipe out the enemy boss straight away, rather than last time in my demo when I have only done 10-20%. So definitely play around. Don't take Evil Seiya and Capricorn Shura's advice as kind of you must have. You do have to play around with your box and try different formation and character to see which one works out for you. That's all for the video today. If you enjoyed the content, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me to know that there are actually people out there benefiting from my guide and motivate me to share more knowledge in the future. If there's any topic that you want me to cover, please drop me a note in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you next time.